Hi ladies, this is Trisha Petito with the Scrappin' Buddies, and today we are going to make a pie layout or a scrapbooking layout that resembles a pie or the pieces of a pie. Now, I did not create this style layout. This is not my genius creation. I actually got this idea from a fellow consultant. Her name is Chris Lothian. Now, I might be saying her name wrong, but you can see her creations at www.chrislothian.closetomyheart.com if you would like to see some more of her creations. Um, she presented at one of our recent creative sessions, and I just loved her ideas, and I wanted to bring these to you. So thank you to Chris. Please don't think that I came up with this all by myself. I definitely did not, but I wanted to bring this to you. So we are going to be actually using this paper pack. This is from our core catalog. It is called the Four Seasons. As you can see, it is a fall autumn type paper pack, and these are the coordinating cardstocks. We have some espresso, honey butter, mocha, nectarine, paprika, shortbread, Sundance, toffee, and white daisy, and all these beautiful stickers that go along with the paper pack. Absolutely love them, and we're going to embellish with these stickers. I thought, how cute are these? So I decided out of these papers, I'm going to use these four and then the other two as embellishments, if you would. So these four spoke to me. So I'm going to pull these four out. You can use whatever ones you want, guys. Use which ones speak to you. And then on the cardstock, the only one that I really wanted to use was that paprika, which is that bright orange color. The other ones, I'm just going to put them aside. So paprika is the only one I'm going to use, and that's going to be my circle. So I'm going to show you in Design Space how I did this. I just took the shape, which is the free shapes that Cricut lets you use, which is the circle. And from the circle, I went up to the sizing tool and I did the 10 sizing, and I made sure it was locked position, and I made it a 10 size. So the circle is going to be a 10. Okay, so that's going to be my circle that I'm going to use for the pie. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to do that 4 different times. So as you can see, 4 different for the 4 different pretty colors, or 4 different pretty papers. And then I'm going to do one more, and this is going to be the 10.5, and that's going to be the outside rim or my paprika, and I'm going to shape that at 10.5. Once again, make sure that's locked so the circle doesn't obstruct from you. So I should have 5 circles altogether, 4 for my pretty papers at 10 and 10.5 for my paprika. And just so I know the difference, I'm going to make it a different color. You can make it whatever color. I just went ahead and made it orange, so I remembered that was my paprika one at 10.5. And oh my gosh, what did I do? I clicked on the wrong part of the screen and I made it go into the corner. So now I got to go find it. There it is, in the corner. Okay, so I got my 4 pieces at 10 and my 1 piece at 10.5, and as you can see, they're over there on the side. So all I would do is go ahead and cut those out. Now, if you don't have Cricut Design and you can't do it on your Cricut, girls, do you have maybe a 10-inch plate in your cabinet? You can draw it around your 10-inch plate, or do you have maybe Creative Memories cutters that have different sizes? You can utilize those. Whatever you have at home, just make some 10-inch circles. Anything you have, utilize those options. This is what you're going to have when you are done. Okay, I'm not exactly sure why my video cut out, but you're going to take your circle and you're going to cut it in half, and then you're going to cut it in half again, and you're going to make yourself these little pie pieces. Don't be too worried about them all being exactly alike if you don't want them to be. I made sure that each of my pieces were exactly the same size. I found a couple of them were a little off. I made sure they were all the same sizes because I wanted my circle to be exactly matching up, but they don't have to be, and I'll explain that later. After that was done and I got all my pie pieces cut, I decided I wanted to have my photo mount area to be a 5 by 5. You can make any size you want, a 4 by 6, a 5 by 7, a 6 by 6, whatever you want. I wanted mine to be square just for some added dimension. So I did my photo mount of 5 by 5 and then its background of 5.5 by 5.5. So I picked my white and my toffee to be my background. And then I took those two coordinating pieces of paper from my pack. And I know it's hard to see in the camera here in a second. I didn't have my cutter exactly where you could see it. But I took these two coordinating papers and I went ahead and cut them in a 4 by 4 square so I could kind of shove them in the background as an accent, just for some added visual excitement, if you would. So I just cut these in small little 4 by 4 squares just so they were there and they would be eye appealing, but I still had plenty of paper left over for other projects. So I took that leaf orange paper and then this really pretty fall pattern paper. It reminded me of a sweater. I don't know how else to put it. I took that and I did a 4 by 4 as well. Okay, so let's get this cutter out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So what you should have is your 10.5 circle in your paprika or whatever color you picked, all your little pie pieces. Mine all were exactly the same size. I had 2 of each color, but yours can be slightly different sizes. You don't have to be exactly the same like mine. And then your other 2 accent colors and your photo mount. So you'll see what I'm doing is I'm placing them on my mat. I decided to put them all right next to each other. I like all of my things to be symmetrical, but you don't have to have it like that. You could have some in and some out. You could have them some variations to it. Because think about it, in the whole middle is going to be all your decorations and your photo mount. So the whole center of your pie is going to be kind of covered up. I decided I wanted them exactly centered like this, but play around with it. I've seen it done both ways and they're both absolutely gorgeous. I wanted mine to be exactly symmetrical. That was just my choice. So I liked the way I was having my papers, so I decided to leave them like this. I took some up and decided to go ahead and get my glue and start gluing them down. I just want to have a visual first before I start gluing. So I got my glue and I started putting them down. After they were done, this was my favorite part, was getting them down. Now, I have to say, while I was putting them down with the glue, I did notice that I had to adjust them just a little bit. I made sure as I put them down with the glue that I had about equal space on either side. So I had, if you would, a pie crust around the outside. I made sure my points connected in the middle because I wanted them all, if you would, symmetrical. Now, if you didn't do them like me and you wanted some in and some out, not equal, then you don't have to worry about that. It's probably way less stressful if you did it that way. I'm going to be honest with you. So I did these initial 4, and then you'll see I had to adjust the other ones. So these initial 4 are kind of like the base, if you would, of the whole entire pie. So I just try to make sure they were all lined up, the points, and then I had a nice pie crust around the outside. I kind of eyeballed it. There was no measuring involved. Now, you could get really technical, way more than I did, and kind of measure it all out. I did not worry about it. I just really eyeballed it. So now once I started putting these other ones down, I realized, oh man, they're a little bit bigger than the holes. So I just kind of shimmied them to make sure that if there was a little bit of overlap of the pieces, that the overlap was equal on both sides. My thought process was, as long as there wasn't a big gap between the pieces, I was happy. I just didn't want the paprika to show between the pieces. I figured the paper would cover up, and as long as I didn't see any big huge paprika gaps between each, then no one would know either way. And it worked out perfectly. So I just, any little overlap, I just made sure they were even on both sides. And it worked out very nicely. So don't over analyze it, don't over stress it. Just kind of as one piece at a time. Go with the flow, if you would. And if your pieces are way off, don't stress about it. Do some in, do some out. Kind of shimmy it back and forth. It's actually kind of fun. Like I said, I've seen it both ways. I've seen it equal and symmetrical, like I'm doing it, and I've seen it where they have them kind of in and out, and it's very fun that way. It's almost like an explosion of a pie. It's kind of neat. There we go. Okay, so let's glue this down. I want to be very careful how I glue this down. I don't really want it to look like a clock. I want to make sure it's a little cockeyed, if you would, on the paper. And we want to get some embellishments on there. So I used all the embellishments from my sticker paper. As you can see, I took those sticker paper, and I was very picky about my stickers. I used the ones that would work for my pictures. I want you to use the ones from your, what would work for your pictures. Added a couple gold gems, and voila, that was my finished project. I hope that yours will turn out as good as mine. I love how it turned out. Please, when you get yours done, I would love for you to post it into our group room. If you're not already in our group room, please ask to be in the Scrappin' Buddies group room. Post your picture. I'd love to see my ladies participate in these challenges and have fun doing so. You can do it with this particular paper pack or any other papers and embellishments that you have. Enjoy and have fun. It's a unique and fun layout to do. I enjoyed it, and I hope you do too. Have a great time and enjoy your crafting.